Super. Who else wants to talk about the kinds of things that have come up? Because I'm guessing it's way off whatever kind of questionnaire. You go way beyond just what color do you like and what do you eat for breakfast, you know?
We talk about a lot of stuff. Like, she's very open with me. She tells me everything. She tells me about the little boy she likes. She tells me a lot about her family, her mom, what her mom does. She talks about her brothers and how it sucks to just live at home all the time with boys in the house all the time, because she's the only girl in the house of, I think, 4 brothers. But we really get off, like, we never really stay on math and reading. We get it done, but, you know, we always get off that topic. What else do we talk about?
Is she a good student?
Yeah, she's a good student, but, like, the other day, but sometimes she act like she has bad behavior. And our last session or whatever, she was like she told me a lot of stuff, so she says she's been being bad. And I told her, I'm like, you can't do that. You know, like, and I was talking to her about what she wants to be and stuff, and she's like, she want to be a doctor, and I'm like, you have to like school, you have to want to come to school, and you can't be bad, you know, you have to treat everybody nicely, because sometimes she could be mean to people. And I'm like, you see me, like, I come to school, like, sometimes I don't want to do the work, but I'm doing it so I could get far and stuff like that. And I was telling her, it's the same thing with you. You know, you have to do the same thing. And we had this deal, like, okay, if you do it, then I'm going to do it. And we high-fived or whatever. But, yeah, that's pretty much what we talked about. She tells me everything.
And what kind of answers do you give when you already give her good advice in terms of, you know, staying positive and on track? Is that really a core thing? Without you, could a lot of these kids fall by the wayside?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, because they don't get that. I think the big thing about Big Brothers and Big Sisters, it's the one-on-one, like, you know, like, communication thing that they get from being a part of the program. And if they don't, like, people could miss out on their ideas and how they really are, like, how they're really like, you know? So they probably could slip up if it wasn't for the program.
Who else wants to talk about the kinds of things that come up and that you've been challenged to answer?
With me, I haven't had a bond. I haven't been with my little sister as long as they have, because we just met, like, not too long ago. So we've been together for about a month or 2, or maybe even 3 months. Recently, she's starting to actually come out to me and tell me some things, like, you know, I just recently learned something about her mother, and she told me what she wanted to be. So that's as far as I know, for more personally with her, because I don't want to bombard her with questions and rush her. I want her to be more comfortable enough with me that she can just freely tell me what she wants to tell me.
So what do you spend most of the half hour doing? Academic stuff?
We try. With the way she is, she gets so distracted with everything else.
Really?
She'll want to go off on different conversations. She'll, you know, we'll play around a little bit, and if we're sitting with somebody else, she'll want to focus on their work more than she wants to focus on hers. And
You
it's
have to bring her back to that. That's a big.
Like, yeah, you
that
do
in
this.
itself is a great lesson, as it were, to keep them on track, because kids are really easily distracted, right? Super. How about you? What do you usually talk with your? You have it's a brother, right?
It's a sister.
Sister. Okay, go ahead.
Well, she tells me that she goes to church every
Speak up so I can hear you.
She tells me she goes to church every weekend with her family, and that she likes it, that they do fun things, and the stuff that she does at home, and that she has sisters and brothers, and that's
What kind of advice do you give her?
To focus on her work and get her job done so she could do good.
What have you learned from your little brother? What have you learned?
I learned that.
Speak up so I can hear you.
I learned that he's, like, first time you'd seen him, you would be like, oh, he's a little too thugged out, or
He's a little too what?
thugged or ghetto, but if you really get to know him, he's, like, really nice, but he can have his off days where he's, like, just all over the place. But I learned that, like, really don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, like, most people would be like, you know, he's a little too out there, so I don't want him. I'd rather switch with someone else. But learn like to have a lot of patience with kids.
A lot of patience. Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to invite some of the other mentors who've been waiting in the wings to join us. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. We're going to talk more about being a mentor, taking on responsibility for helping for teens, teen mentors, helping to shape the lives of younger people. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, I have been talking with a group of teens from
Coconut Creek High School.
They are mentors who actually go into what school?
Coconut Creek Elementary School.
Through Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Broward County. It's a program that's been supported by Waste Management
Yes.
and certainly by all your teachers and peer counselors and everything else, and you've done remarkably well. We are joined by
Okisha.
Okisha. You have been watching your fellow mentors, right?
Yeah.
In the green room. What did you hear that you think you need to add to fill in the blanks that you might have heard?
Everything they said was pretty
Speak
much
up so we can hear you.
everything they said was pretty much on point. Like
Yeah?
the kids are wonderful and it's a great program to be in.
Now, you have a little brother or a little sister?
I have a little sister.
Okay, and give us a sense of, I had asked everybody what the initial response was, like that first day, what was yours?
Mine, I was a little scared to see like what child I'll be matched up with, if the child would be bad or like outspoken, or I'm a shy person, but she was shy
I don't
as
think
much.
you're so shy. That's not been my sense, but that's okay.
She was as shy as I was, but then I got her to speak because one of us has to speak up, so I got her to speak, and she became really close to me. Like, we talk a lot about everything.
Are you told anything, like suppose you hear something that could be serious? I mean, maybe, I don't even know what the scenario could be, but how are you briefed or trained in any way to listen for things that could be maybe bad for these kids that you're hearing about? Are you trained to say something to an adult to help them, get some kind of assistance? Give me a sense of this, because you just can't be sent into schools to deal with young people off the cuff. What kind of training you get?
Well, it depends on what the situation is, because if you can't handle it yourself, you go to, somebody that's ahead of you, like your teacher or the teacher that came up with the program or whatever. You always take it to somebody older if you can't handle it yourself, because it makes no sense. You try to handle a situation and it gets worse.
So are there any situations that you're told ahead of time that you need to alert an adult to if you have come across it? Anything of that sort? Or not?
This is anything life-threatening or harmful to either them or another student or anybody.
Mm-hmm.
If it can hurt them, then we have to tell.
Okay.
And we don't just like get up and say, "Hey, they're going to kill somebody." No, we have to approach the teacher afterwards and say, so and so said this is going to happen. You should look into that.
Mm-hmm. Right. Have any of you been in situations like that where you've come up with tough stuff? No, everything's been okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have any kind of?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. Like, I think if you get hints of something that might be harmful to the child, I don't think you should jump up unless it's life-threatening, But if you're getting hints and stuff, you might just want to just be there for a while, hang out, see what's going on, before you hurry up and go tell, the teacher or someone that's of authority. But no, not really. She just told me something. But it's not harmful or anything. But
good.
Yeah,
okay. But so you know how to deal with it in the event because you're privy to stuff that other people might not get, and they're trusting you. Right. I guess the thing also is you got to be careful, because if you violate that trust, then it's kind of like you went behind their back and then they don't trust you anymore.
Right.
That's it too.
Breaks.